just heading out. Managed to leave before 7. God, I hate putting my tent back in its stuff, so I'm just so rubbish at it. It's about 3 times as bulky as it should be. Little village store there, unfortunately closed. There's a lot of mist around at the minute, but it feels like it's going to burn off. But lovely place, Buckden. Wainwright liked it, and so do I. Yeah, I think I'll be back in the future. It's called Buckden Rake. Wainwright used the road, which is down there somewhere. But this track looks like it runs parallel to the road until past Cray. At least keeps you off the road. Probably wasn't available when Wainwright came though. Proper cloud inversion going on. I thought I might get a broken spectre, but I think it's a bit too high up on the ridge. Upper Wharfdale, so beautiful. I really can see why Wainwright named it his favourite of the valleys. First time I've seen it, but I'm so glad I have. That's Cray down there. For some reason Wainwright wasn't very enamoured of Cray. He walked through it on the road there to the road he would have taken. But he said, Upper Home charms, Cray chills. See the hillside there, how it kind of comes down in a series of terraces. I wonder if that's glaciation. After a brief foray around the road, we're going to take this track, and this is the way Wainwright came as well, so we really are following his footsteps at the moment. Wainwright described this track as a walker's route par excellence. And here's what he's got to say. There are long cliffs of millstone grit, grey and forbidding even in sunlight, on Kidston's Fell to the left, while on the right it can be seen cropping through the ground at intervals on the 2-mile climb to the summit of Buckden Pike. Oh, how can I put into words the joys of a walk over country such as this? The scenes that delight the eyes, the blessed peace of mind, the sheer exuberance which fills your soul as you tread the firm turf. This is something to be lived, not read about. On these breezy heights, the transformation is wondrously wrought within you. Your thoughts are simple, in tune with your surroundings. The complicated problems you brought with you from the town are smoothed away. Up here you are near to your Creator. You are conscious of the infinite. You gain new perspectives. Thoughts run in new strange channels. There are stirrings in your soul which are quite beyond the power of my pen to describe. Something happens during the silent places which never could in the towns, and it is a good thing to sit a while in a quiet spot and meditate. The hills have a power to soothe and heal which is their very own. No man ever sat alone at the top of a hill and planned a murder or robbery, and no man ever came down from the hills without feeling in some way refreshed and the better for his experience. Limestone pavement there. Stake Moss, I think we're at. As I crossed the high, lonely moor, I was constantly serenaded by the calls of plovers, curlews and lapwings. There's Stalling Busk just below, and that must be Semer Water. Wainwright wasn't impressed. He likened it to a flooded field, but I think that's because a local had had the audacity to compare it to his beloved Lake Windermere. Wainwright mentioned that even in the tiny villages where news didn't really filter through, there were notices for volunteers, for armed guards and stuff during the war, and he thought it felt a bit surreal. And even in this tiny village, there's still the shadow of COVID. It's everywhere. These are the ruins of the old church, Stalling Busk. It dates from around 1722, although it incorporates stonework from an earlier church. It looks like it fell into disuse when the new church was built. Quite sad really, must have been quite an impressive building. Looks quite attractive. I think Wainwright definitely had a sunk on when he said it was a flooded field. It's a bit more than that. Not loving these tiny gates. I think some farmers don't realise that some people have tents on the back. I swear these local farmers in competition with each other. The most inventive, difficult style. Ah, you're kidding me. Bracken Hill. You can just see Semer Water in the distance. It's gone a bit cloudy now, but it's still nice for walking. We're entering Wensleydale. Now Wainwright didn't think much of Wensleydale. He says it was like a comely matron who had set out all the store and showed everything all at once without holding anything back. I guess it's not quite as nice as Wharfdale, but it's still got its own charms. I am literally stuck in a stile. Oh, bloody hell. Let's just say, short fat legs, big rucksacks and tents don't mix with those styles.
This weekend, next weekend,
Had a jacket potato in Bainbridge. Set me up nicely. Wainwright had tea in Askrigg, which is where we're headed to now, but I was more than ready for a sit down. I'm going to have to find a shop in Askrigg though, so I do need some supplies. I'm going to get told off for this. This is Askrigg. I believe it served as Darrowby and the James Herriot series. Pretty sure they used this village for the filming. Strange to think that while Wainwright was doing his walk, James Herriot, or Alf Wright as his name really was, would have been practising, but at the real Darrowby, which is actually Thirsk, which is some miles away. Got a long climb now out of Askrigg. Wainwright came this way and he said the climb taxed his weird limbs mightily, and I do know how he feels. He says he kept stopping to look back more than the view warranted. I expect I'll be doing the same. Just admiring the view again. Now, I'm going to make a choice here. I'm staying in Muker tonight. I didn't realise that the Pennine Journey doesn't actually go through Muker. I thought it did, but it doesn't. What it does, if it takes this path down to Gunnerside, it goes through Thills, picks up the swale, and then goes north. Well, I could go that way, to add a great big loop on, and mean me going up to the swell grass distance to come back to Muker. Wainwright, on the other hand, took this path here down to Muker, where he stayed. So I think what I'll do is I might not stay true to the Pennine Journey, but I'll stay true to Wainwright's Pennine Journey instead. Because it's been a long old day and my feet are aching, and I don't want to jeopardise myself unnecessarily. Ox not scar. It's quite impressive. Wainwright would have seen that. Wainwright described how Swaledale unfolded a little bit more of its loveliness of each step. And it certainly is doing. The long and winding road. There's Gunnerside, way in the distance. I'm glad I didn't do that option now.
Muker, at last.
Wainwright liked Muker, although we had an unfortunate encounter with a lady whose false teeth didn't fit right, which disgusted him. He said, "There's nowhere like Muker."
It was such a relief to reach my campsite and relax for the night.